In 1979, a U.S. Army intelligence officer is handed a piece of paper. On it is a set of numbers, geographic coordinates, nothing else. His job is to describe what's at those coordinates. He picks up a pen, he closes his eyes. 20 minutes later, he's produced a sketch. What he drew, weeks before any satellite confirmed it, was a Soviet submarine of a class that Western intelligence didn't even know existed. I'm Naeem. Welcome to the Feedback Loop, and this is the story of Joe McMoneagle, the government psychic who drew a Soviet sub that no satellite had ever photographed yet. Joseph McMoneagle was not a self-proclaimed psychic. He was not a New Age practitioner or spiritual seeker. He was a career U.S. Army intelligence officer, a chief warrant officer who had spent years in signals intelligence, electronics intelligence, and counterintelligence work in Europe and Southeast Asia. He was methodical. He was skeptical. He had spent his career in a world where hard evidence was everything. In 1978, McMoneagle was working in a sensitive intelligence role in Europe when he was quietly approached by a representative from the Army's Intelligence and Security Command, INSCOM. They were building a new unit, classified, small and unusual. The unit was based in Fort Meade, Maryland, and its work drew directly from the research being conducted at Stanford Research Institute, the same SRI program run by Pudov and Targ that we covered last week. McMoneagle agreed to join, and he turned out to be, by almost any measure, the most gifted remote viewer the program ever produced. He was designated remote viewer number 001. The Fort Meade unit operated under several code names in its early years: Gondola Wish, then Grill Flame. Later it would be known as Center Lane, Sunstreak, and eventually Stargate. The sessions followed a structured protocol adapted from the coordinated remote viewing methodology developed at SRI by Ingo Swann, though the exact procedure shifted depending on the target and the operation. A viewer would be seated alone in a plain, windowless room, bare walls, no distractions. A monitor, another trained officer, would be present throughout. What the viewer was given to start a session varied, sometimes geographic coordinates, sometimes just a sealed envelope. The viewer would relax, enter a focused state, and begin describing what they perceived, verbally, on paper, and in sketches. The monitor would prompt them along the way. Describe the first thing you sense. What's this texture? Generally without revealing target information. Afterward, the transcripts and the sessions were evaluated by analysts who compared them against what was actually there. McMoneagle completed thousands of these sessions over his time in the program. Some were practice sessions, others were routine intelligence tasks, Soviet military installations, missing persons, possibly downed aircraft. But in 1979, he was given a target that would define his career. Severodvinsk is a city on the White Sea in the far northwest of Russia. It is and was in 1979 one of the most strategically significant locations on Earth. The city exists almost entirely to serve the Sevmez shipyard, the largest submarine construction facility in the world. U.S. intelligence had been watching it for years via satellite. But there were gaps. Satellite passes had windows. Buildings obscured activity. And in 1979, analysts believed something significant was being constructed inside one of the main assembly halls, but couldn't confirm the details. They gave McMoneagle the coordinates. He sat down, he closed his eyes, and he started talking. He described a large body of water, an industrial facility nearby, a massive enclosed building, and inside the building, a submarine. But not one like anything he recognized. He described the vessel as enormous, larger than any submarine he had seen in prior sessions or briefings. He described an unusual configuration, multiple pressure hulls, he thought side by side, almost like two submarines were merged into one. He described a distinctive profile, a wide flattened deck, and a blunt bow. He described what appeared to be missile launch tubes, a large number of them, arranged along the vessel's upper section. He sketched it. He annotated the sketch with estimated dimensions. His estimated length, approximately 170 meters. His estimated beam, approximately 25 meters. Western intelligence had no submarine in their records matching that description. Not yet. According to McMoneagle's account, approximately 8 weeks after his session, a new Soviet submarine emerged from the Severodvinsk facility into the White Sea. It was the first vessel of what NATO would designate the Typhoon class. The Soviets called it Project 941 Akula. It was the largest submarine ever built. It remains so to this day. Its length, 175 meters. Its beam, 23 meters. 20 ballistic missile tubes arranged in 2 rows forward of the sail. It had twin pressure hulls running parallel, a revolutionary and unusual design. Intelligence analysts who reviewed McMoneagle's session transcript after the satellite confirmation noted the correlation between his descriptions and the confirmed vessel. McMoneagle's sketch had anticipated a vessel that did not officially exist at the time he drew it. In 1984, Chief Warrant Officer Joseph McMoneagle was awarded the Legion of Merit. The citation referenced his contribution to, and I'm quoting directly, the execution of a program that is considered vital to the security of the United States. The remote viewing program was not mentioned by name in the citation. It didn't need to be. I want to be honest with you about what we can and can't conclude from this. The session transcript, the Legion of Merit, and the general outline of the Severodvinsk story are documented. They appear in declassified materials and in McMoneagle's own account in his book, Memoirs of a Psychic Spy. The precise degree of match between his session and the final vessel, and exactly what intelligence conclusions were drawn at the time, are harder to pin down with certainty. Some details remain classified. What is not in dispute, McMoneagle completed the session. The submarine was built. The program produced intelligence that military analysts found actionable. The Legion of Merit was awarded. The question I keep coming back to is this. If remote viewing doesn't work, really doesn't work at all, why did the US Army run this program for 22 years? Why did trained intelligence officers spend their careers on it? Why did the CIA fund it to the tune of over $20 million? Those are not rhetorical questions. They deserve serious answers. If you want to explore those answers and understand the actual practice behind the protocols, I do teach structured remote viewing courses. The link is in the description. Joseph McMoneagle retired from the U.S. Army in 1984. He went on to become one of the most documented remote viewers in history, completing sessions for researchers, government agencies, and private clients over the following decades. He's never claimed to be supernatural. He's never claimed to be infallible. He's only claimed, and the declassified record supports it, that something happened in those sessions that conventional science is not able to fully explain. In 1979, they gave him coordinates, and he drew a submarine that didn't exist yet. Make of that what you will.